So I found that Tuhon Bill, when he was teaching us, training with us almost every day, long periods of time, taking us step by step through the system, could get away with doing teaching two different ways. One, a basic way to get the basic coordination, basic range of motion for beginners, and then when we got into advanced material, he would go and revisit the basics with the understanding of that advanced material. And I was teaching that way for many years, but I found that with adults, the first way you teach them is somehow when their brain gets locked in, that's the only way they do it, and you try to correct it later and they have a hard time with it, especially if you're only seeing them once a year at seminars. The guys who train with me, once a week or even once a month on an extended seminar didn't seem to have that problem, but the guys I see once a year, especially if they had another martial art that did things differently, it was really hard to retrain them in that. So what I'm trying to do now is trying to give them the combat version of everything in the very first class, and that seems to prevent that problem of staying too long in the training wheels phase. So when I teach 5 attacks, let me show you on just 1 and 2. So now instead of standing square and doing 5 attacks, 1 and 2 to those collarbones with a full side step, now I'll start them off in a diagonal stance. Weight is flat on both legs, but make sure the rear heel does not come up, but both feet should be flat. And I'm firing, not breaking the collarbone, I'm firing and trying to cut the heart. I'm basically, if he comes in with his strike, or his cut, the hand will often precede the blade. He has to cross the center line. So I'm coming into the heart to try to prevent that, head him off the pass. You want to get people with very aggressive strikes. They don't have to try and kill each other, but they should have the movement of an aggressive, efficient, advanced practitioner from the very beginning. This way they don't have to unlearn anything, especially when you see people only once a year. So there's the 1, there's the 2. I'm firing, sliding right off the deltoid or the trapezius, and I'm hitting to target, right? So it's a very direct hit from the shoulder to the target. On the forehand, from the shoulder, slides off the delt to the target, right? And it gives you, because I have that forward lean, about 60% forward leg, 40% rear leg, I'm telling my body I'm in fight mode, I'm in the command of the situation, and it's more aggressive. So try that with your students. Or if you're by yourself, try that with your solo training. If you don't have a heavy bag or a bob bag or a tire stack, get a bag of old clothes, something you can hit with about 50% of power and not break anything in your house will be enough. And just practice, hitting, to the center line and going direct as mode possible. When Leo showed us this, he said, imagine a nail is in a wall and you're trying to hammer the nail into the wall, not knock the nail off the wall. So try to have that forward motion, direct into target. And that should make your strikes more efficient and more aggressive and more powerful when you do have opportunity to use full power strikes.